Putting news first, this is BBC World.
Asia Business Report is sponsored by Cathay Pacific, moving you to over 120 destinations worldwide.
A Japanese internet entrepreneur is found guilty of securities fraud. We have a special report from Tokyo. Southeast Asia and Europe are nudging closer in trade relations. We look at the obstacles ahead. Nice to have you with us, everyone. You're watching the Friday edition of the Asia Business Report live on BBC World. I'm Rico Hizon. We have a verdict in the 7-month trial of Japanese internet entrepreneur Takafumi Horie. A Tokyo court has sentenced the 34-year-old to 2.5 years in prison for securities fraud. Prosecutors say Mr. Horie cooked the books of his company LiveDoor and spread false information to the money markets. Our Tokyo correspondent Chris Hogg has more.
This is Takafumi Horie, celebrity businessman, internet millionaire. A man who took pride in challenging the way business is done here. He was popular and he used his fame to attract the investors he needed to build his empire. His message, look at me, I can do anything, take on anyone. It was not what Japan was used to. This is Roppongi Hills, an expensive and exclusive neighborhood of Tokyo where Takafumi Horie was based. His experience seemed to offer the Japanese an alternative to the traditional route into business, the life of a salaryman working for one company. But a year ago, all that changed when a team of prosecutors came here to arrest him. The raid was the start of Horie's nightmare. He was accused of cooking the company's books and spreading false information to the money markets, charges he's always denied. News of his arrest traumatized the markets. The index crashed as tens of thousands of people who put their faith in Horie tried to pull out their cash. Yoshikazu Sugiyama was one of the investors who lost money. He says Horie is a hard act to follow. Today, potential backers can be more suspicious of young entrepreneurs.
あなた堀江さんと一緒じゃない。
Some people tell me you are just like Horie, probably a criminal because I'm young with my own business, not employed by a big company. People stereotype me like that. On the other hand, Horie's experience encouraged me and people around me to try harder to get our companies listed on the stock markets, to raise their value and sell them. He's definitely been a major influence, both good and bad.
And that could be the legacy of the Horie affair. A generation of young Japanese, more willing than their fathers to take risks and set up their own businesses, but a market that's more wary of them and watching closely to make sure they don't step out of line. Chris Hogg, BBC News, Tokyo.
And according to the latest reports, Takafumi Horie will appeal the verdict and the 2.5-year prison sentence.